viewers to the Midwicket Show. My name is Daryl.
And I'm Darren.
Where we give you an in-depth, detailed analysis for all things cricket.
Local, regional, international, and franchise cricket at its best.
In the latest happenings, IPL is the hot topic now. We have been having a lot of good performances from our West Indian cricketers in the latest format of the 2020 Vivo IPL. In the latest news, RCB, the table toppers at this point in time, has been having a little bit of a mixed views on their performances. What are your take on that, Darren?
I think they've been playing some good cricket over the last few games. They definitely seem to be having better fortunes in 2021 rather than last year, where they started to win these games up front. They just had a stumbling block in the last game, but I see they're on the right track.
Yeah, that's a very good thing. I mean, most of us cricketers, cricket fans and fanatics in general have been following the IPL, especially because of Virat Kohli and his success on the international forum. We hope that he can replicate some of this in the IPL. He has had some stellar seasons before, and I think it can be duplicated. What do you think of your? I mean, I know your team. Your team is KKR. What there have some misfortunes there. How do you think?
Yes, definitely. I think so as well. Shah Rukh Khan, the owner, he was a bit peeved with some of the performances so far. But I think the guys will bounce back with the likes of Sunil Narine and Andre Russell and so on. I think we'll bounce back.
But that's a good topic that you raised there. I mean, it's very. I'm glad to see that he's actually broken into the final playing 11 alongside Andre Russell and being one of the overseas picks.
Yes, well, Sunil had a little rough time with his bowling action, opting not to play for the West Indies in recent times. But seeing that he got a couple of games under his belt, I'm expecting him to perform a little better as we get deeper into the tournament.
So what are the changes that you think that can be, as it stands now, we have RCB on top, CSK at second, Delhi Capitals after coming off a good game today with Shimron Hetmyer actually coming among the runs today, and that was a very important thing. That was a talking point. They're often comparing Shimron Hetmyer alongside Nicholas Pooran with his mixed fortunes of thing. I know you had a lot to say about Nicholas Pooran.
Yes.
Managing to continue to play for the Kings 11 Punjab. What are your take?
Yes, I definitely think that Pooran needs to just step away a little bit, get back into the groove of things, because in the previous tournament, in the T10, he was actually very good. But coming into the IPL, I think it's a bit, I don't know if he has a big workload or what it is, but he needs to just focus and get back there.
Yeah, class is class and form is temporary, as we say in the local circuit.
I'm just glad that
in the bottom half of the table, I think there are some teams that, my team, the Kings 11 Punjab, I am an avid fan. I am not one of the bandwagonists. My viewers will be able to say, probably doubting why am I supporting one of the not so household names, as in Kings 11 Punjab. They have had the likes of our very own Adrian Barrett played for Kings 11 Punjab alongside Ramnaresh Sarwan. Our two-time winning World Cup captain Darren Sammy was the captain and the head of the Sunrisers, as well as Kings 11 Punjab. What is your take? I like the underdog teams. What do you prefer?
Well, it seems that my team is an underdog team this year as well.
Oh, that's only this season, right? Because
it is that way because of a few poor performances. But hopefully we get back there. Shah Rukh Khan, he always invests in good teams. And since the alliance with Trinbago Knight Riders, I found myself warming up to this team a little more.
Okay.
And, well, I can see why you like the Punjab Kings as well.
And there's one of the few IPL teams that has 3 West Indians had the ability to represent and be in the playing 11 at one point in time. So, I mean, I obviously have to support my own.
Definitely. Well, I feel the same way with Narine and Russell in the mix of things. And I'm sure that they will get back into the top 5 maybe.
Yeah, for sure. But there's the good thing about this IPL, it's a long extended season, but things kind of vary. Teams peak at the right time and some peak too early, and fortune favors the brave, as we say.
But we just have to monitor it and see.
Yes, a lot of things that needs to be monitored. One of the main things that we have to be monitoring is the COVID restrictions and whatnot, and how it is living in this biosecure bubble. Players, I feel that is a very big part that could be, a lot of blame could be placed on that somewhat, where it is that the mixed performances of some players.
And I see what you're getting at too in terms of the players' form, in terms of their mindset and everything. And this is a good opportunity where we remind the viewers to wash hands, sanitize, and social distance as much as possible, because we see, of course, the pandemic is affecting the world.
Yeah, and adhere to COVID protocols and whatnot. We see a lot of things happening around the world, but I'm glad that our West Indian players can actually stay part of this. I know there's a recent uproar where it is that a lot of the Australian cricketers are asking to go back home, pulling out of the IPL for personal reasons, but most importantly is because of COVID.
Yes, I take your point there. But I think our West Indian players in particular are seasoned to this biosecure bubble because they were a part of the first set of people who experienced it in the last tour of England in 2020.
As well as the CPL.
As well as the CPL. So I think they've not grown accustomed, but they know what to expect when they enter these environments.
Well, yeah, but as CPL is a big part of us, they hope that they transgress and make a lot of happenings from CPL into the IPL. With that being said as well, there were some major switches that took place in this version of the IPL this year.
Right.
One of the main ones is Glenn Maxwell moving from the Kings 11 Punjab to RCB. He has hit home. He has had a lot of good performances so far. What do you think?
Yeah, well, with a big hitter like Maxwell, any team would be lucky to have this guy.
He's a pricey tag as well.
Well, I guess that's why RCB was able to take him
to land him as well. Another person to make mention to was the English all-rounder in Moeen Ali. He left from the RCB camp to go across to the Yellow Army, led by MS Dhoni, the Chennai Super Kings, and his performances has been top-notch.
Well, it's not unexpected. Knowing Moeen Ali, he's a good all-round cricketer, and knowing Dhoni and so on, he would want somebody just as any other to complete that innings in terms of batting and bowling.
What are your takes on Chris Morris being the top or the heftiest price tag for this version of the IPL in 2021? He has had mixed performances. He has been in and out of the South African setup as well. So I think these guys live off of franchise cricket as well. But what do you think he has had in different performances thus far?
Well, I think for a guy of more standard, right, the Rajasthan Royals, they definitely know what he's worth. And if he could branch off from South Africa and have some good performances with Rajasthan Royals, he would definitely find his way back there.
But then there's, last but not least, there's our, actually there's a very few persons that have the opportunity to play, like in the EPL, in the English Premier League, we have the top 6, we have the top 3 in the IPL, which is Kings 11. No, that's my team. They're nothing. There's KKR, CSK, and Mumbai. And we have one individual. I could ask my viewers to probably think who is the only person that has played for all 3. And that person is the elder statesman in Harbhajan Singh. Wow, what do you think about the Turbinator? Making a switch, he has been all around. Do you think he will settle in well here?
The Turbinator is a good mix of things. He brings that experience. He's been around for a very long time. And I myself was kind of looking forward to see what he brings to this edition of the IPL in a new franchise.
Nice. As we are on that point, we have had some West Indians that have had the opportunity to bring the purple cap and the orange cap back to the shores of the Caribbean. As it stands now, on both sides of the fence, the Indian players, the local domestic players are dominating, as we have Harshal Patel, closely followed by Avish Khan, 2 fast bowlers leading the purple caps. What do you think about that?
These are 2 young bowlers who have been brought to the spotlight, so to speak. And it's good for Indian cricket in terms of building a team for, let's say, for the future T20 World Cup that's around the corner.
For sure, because more importantly, what we can highlight here, these are 2 uncapped players that have not had the opportunity to represent India at the highest level at any format. As well, as we switch across to the orange cap, there are 2 local Indian players that are on top. We have Shekhar Dhawan at 265 runs, a high score of 92. And we have KL Rahul from my team, Kings 11 Punjab, in a close 240. But these are players that have actually had international experience.
These are 2 powerhouses in the sport right now. And 2 openers, so to speak. So you'll find that these openers, when they get to go on top, that they would tend to dominate rather than somebody coming into a number 5, number 6 position. Sure. They wouldn't have that opportunity.
Make use of the power play.
Exactly.
With that being said, too, there are 2 century makers or 2 players that have actually made a ton in this year's version of the IPL, in Sanju Samson for the Rajasthan Royals and Devdutt Padakkal for the RCB. Those are 2 young, promising players, and they are not nowhere close in this top 5 of the of the purple cap, of the orange cap. What do you think about that?
Well, Samson has been around for a while, so it's expected of him to come up to scratch, so to speak.
He has new weight on his shoulders of being a captain as well.
That is so true, and we look forward to seeing more of him.
But with that being said, one of my topics amongst my peers that I've been discussing, I mean, there's no bars to sit and talk cricket now as the COVID protocols. So just a minor little thing, I have been noticing that there's a lot of international players that have not gotten the opportunity, as well as Indian local domestic players that have been having a good Ranji Trophy and Syed Mushtaq T20 tournament and not able to break into these teams. I have had the opportunity to put together a new C11. If you don't mind me going through it, you can give me your thing. I know you are very opinionative of my picks.
Let us hear who
I have my on UC11 for the IPL 2021 version. I have Jason Roy, the Englishman. He's part of the Sunrisers Hyderabad. He's yet to play. Robin Uthappa will be my captain. He's with Chennai Super Kings. David Malan is the number 1 T20 batsman in the world. He's part of the Kings 11 Punjab and is yet to play. Karun Nair. He's part of the CSK outfit. You have Safraz Khan, the wicketkeeper batsman. He's part of the Kings 11 Punjab. Jimmy Nisham is part and parcel of the Mumbai's outfit. Krishnatham Gautam, he's part of CSK. Nathan Contanail, Manak Makande, both of Mumbai Indians. Kuldeep Yadav of the KKR and Sandeep Sharma of the Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Well, Daryl, with that 11 that you've put together there, they could surely be one of these top teams.
For sure, but with that being said, too, I actually put together a team name. We'll name it the Midwicket Sluggers. So we are currently looking for some sponsors. If it is that we can buy an IPL franchise, you never know what could happen there.
Well, that's quite a fitting name for this show, the Midwicket Show.
Yes, the Midwicket Show. There are actually some good names in this lineup.
Let's take, for instance, the first name that you brought there, Jason Roy, an explosive English opening batsman. Wow. How could he not play so far?
And his team is suffering. His team at Sunrisers, they have some indifferent performances so far. Without touching on that, Jason Holder has only played probably one game so far, and I think that he deserves more.
Wow. Well, in the 2020 edition of the IPL, Jason Holder was a major part of the team doing well. So this one has definitely surprised me, I must say.
Also, there's a lot of overseas players that have not had the opportunity to play so far. One in particular is Lockie Ferguson. That Kiwi.
Wow. Just as you said, Lockie Ferguson.
He's part of your team. He's part of the KKR.
You brought back memories of the last time West Indies went to New Zealand just recently. And it was not pleasant memories for us.
For sure. He is the short and rising under the heart, as we say in local terms.
Exactly.
Also, with that being said, there was Adam Zampa as well as Jane Richardson that flew back to Australia for personal reasons. There are also Tim Seifert, who's part of the TKR outfit for the 2020 edition and was not able to break into the thing as well. There's the all-rounder, another Kiwi in Mitchell Santner. I think it's hard for him to break in there.
You just keep bringing back memories of this New Zealand tour that we had there.
And Anton Norwich, as well as another Kiwi in Finn Allen, who has been part and parcel of the success of the New Zealand under-19 team. So there's a lot of budding talent that is in and around. And speaking of emerging talents, there is a lot of emerging talent from India. But one such, I know that there's a lot of talk about him, and Chetan Sakuria. He's the one that had the little incident where his brother passed away and whatnot, and it shows the devotion and the love, the passion that Indian people live for cricket. Cricket is more a sport, it's a lifestyle.
That was very unfortunate to learn about.
With that being said, we will just have a break now. We have a break for this time. We'll be back shortly.
It's Palos! Fit is it. Kyle South sat down, discussed with Fit that there is a problem right now. Everyone wants to exercise. The country is on lockdown. We are going to give you an opportunity to exercise. An opportunity to exercise in the comfort of your home. Every morning, Fit will be viewed on Kyle for you to be able to exercise in the comfort of your house. Build your immune system, and that's what Fit is about. Fit is about allowing you to feel incredible today. So come together with Kyle South. Come together with Fit. Look forward, Fit. Coming soon. Fit is it. Kyle South. Follow!
The crowd to the energy, they're not getting enough. Instructor, come get them all.
Welcome back, viewers, to the Midwicket Show. As we're on that topic, and we are closing off a little bit on IPL, we just want to move forward to our own 9 West Indian players in the IPL.
And we start off with Chris Gayle, and we'll mention everybody: the Nicholas Pooran, Jason Holder, Kyron Pollard, Dwayne Bravo, Fabian Allen, Sunil Narayan, Andre Russell, and Shimron Hetmyer, who had a great innings.
Yeah, he played well for the Delhi Capitals in today's close victory. I think that was a... No, wait, he didn't.
No, they didn't.
Oh, I so wanted them to win.
Yeah.
They lose by 1 run.
I share your sentiments, but I think the captain had a major part in it.
Richard Pant. I think that was a little bit. I mean, it's good to see. It's good to see this camaraderie after a loss. You see the likes of Virat Kohli and those sort of big name players interacting with our very own cricketers, our own West Indian cricketers. I mean, with that being said, there are 3 actually at one franchise in Nicholas Pooran, Christopher Henry Gayle, and Fabian Allen. Well, I am still yet to think that Kings 11 has not put their best foot forward so far, but what do you think of our West Indian performances so far?
Well, in your mid-wicket sluggers, you called David Malan.
Yes, he needs to be in that.
He needs to be in that team. And although I share the sentiment that Nicholas Pooran is the powerhouse of the franchise, I think as the number 1 batsman
in
T20, Malan should have opportunity.
Sure.
Right? So
with that being said, I think there were some in and out performances. We have 2 50s one from Andre Russell coming in 22 balls, and Shimron Hetmyer for the Delhi Capitals. And I think that Kyron Pollard had a close 40 odd in one of his games. He has been the stalwart, and he has a permanent fixture in the Mumbai Indians team. Fabian Allen has been in and out. I think he played 2 games with a couple of ill performances with the ball.
Right.
He didn't get the opportunity to show his bat, and I think our discarded test captain in Jason Holder should be able to be playing no more.
Yes, Jason Holder definitely deserves a better opportunity, and I think it will come as we go deeper into the tournament.
And the elder statesman in Christopher Henry Gayle, the Mr. T20, the universe boss.
The universe boss. No stranger to anyone. I think he had a 43, I think it was, in the last innings. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of him as we build towards the T20
I think
World Cup.
As he's coming down in age, he needs to propel a team to ensure that he goes out in grand style. Would it be that he be part of the next World Cup? Or would it he take the Kings 11 to a final, baby? I'm contented with us reaching to a final.
Yes.
As we on that topic of making mention to West Indian players, there are a few, 4 West Indian players that are part and parcel of the county championships in England. That as well as a biosecure bubble. We have the likes of Kemar Roach, Alzari Joseph, and Craig Brackett, our newfound test captain. Have you been paying attention to his performances so far?
Definitely. This is no surprise to me because the test team, when it's filled with these players, they, of course, while the others go to the IPL, this is an opportunity for them to refresh their talent.
I think that, does we earmark certain players as, I think as a cricketer, you should be able to transition to play any format of the game. I feel like the modern and not going back to traditional ways where it is that you can be able to think, you can go back and play any format of cricket. I feel like we stigmatize Kyron Pollard as a T20 specialist,
correct,
Craig Brackett, or even Chase Wata Pujara. We cannot just minimize it, and I think that's not thing. As a cricketer, you should be able to free flowing to adapt to situations.
Well, I share your point to a certain extent. But these players, they have their way, and like for example, our test captain Brathwaite, I really don't see him in the T20, T10, T20 outfit because he has this style
Yeah, with that being said, too, I am still think that these guys, they do have the opportunity to play T20 cricket as in their local domestic cricket when they go back to Barbados or whatever regional franchise they come from. With that being said, too, he has developed this style. I think the style was only made mention or made famous by the one Sir Brian Charles Lara batting with a shades. What is your thing? He has a score of 60 and 21 for the Gloucestershire outfit. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's his style, and it seems to be working for him so far.
Yeah. He has 2 test wins under his belt as a captain as well, so we have to think that. We have our very own Kemar Roach, the nickname Slider. He has had some indifferent performances, 1 for 53, none for 13. Also, we have Alzari Joseph, who's playing for the Worcestershire County Cricket Club. And I think, personally, he has had the opportunity and becoming a very good all-rounder. More so known for his bowling promise, but his batting is he has scored a score here of 61 and 18 respectively.
Well, I think this county championship bought him because he could bat, from what I'm seeing here. Because in his last few performances against Sri Lanka in the recently concluded Test series, his performances kind of dipped with the ball, but it was rising with the bat.
For sure. But with that being said, Alzari Joseph was part and parcel of the Mumbai Indians team and still has one of the best IPL figures of 6 odd for less than 20, and that's remarkable figures.
That is so remarkable. I'm sure it won't happen again.
Oh no, man! I don't think so for sure.
But it's good that Kemar and Alzari are getting the exposure, especially because Test cricket is played with this Duke ball, and I look forward to seeing more of them.
As we touch a little bit on the international cricket, I mean, most of us who are glued to the IPL and not so. I mean, with barring of the Pakistan players, the inability to play part and parcel of the IPL, the organizers have inveigled a tour as it, and where it is. You know me, I backed the underdog. Zimbabwe pulled off a nail-biting win and bowling out Pakistan for 99. How's that? What do you think of that? I know you're a big Pakistani fan.
I'm a big Pakistani fan, and according to our producer Mickey, he said that they play true to form. They are just as unpredictable as the West Indies.
Nah, that's some hard shoes. That's a lot. That's a big shoes to fill, to be honest.
You being the underdog backer, you know we have to give Zimbabwe.
Yeah, you have to give Jacket, and
they
Jimmy.
played really well. When I watched the 3 games played at the Harare Sports Club, there was no game that was
one-sided to dominate.
Exactly.
And I think there were some good performances because I thought that they are bringing back a few of the older players as well as some new players coming through the ranks. Also, I saw Demuta Kunaratne scored 100 for Sri Lanka in that test game. That's a batting shot, over 1,000 runs in one test match.
I was quite surprised because this is the first time I've seen a test go 5 days in a long time. Yes.
But there are actually some good performances there. Tamin Iqbal, Liton Das, there's a few.
I actually think Sri Lanka got the form from playing West Indies in the last series.
But they were defeated, so that there's a big bounce back.
It is.
Mickey Atta is not taking this, according to our producer.
So,
as we know, Mickeys have a tendency of doing things a certain way, right?
We would think it's a bottom of the table clash, but it surely
didn't.
It didn't prove to be that.
With that being said as well, I know media really saw a few West Indians being picked up for the PSL or the continuation of the PSL tournament that is going to be held in Pakistan. I saw the elder statesman in Fidel Edwards coming off from a good season with the Talawas. He picked a buy up alongside Rovman Powell. Obi McCoy was in the mix there as well. Andre Russell has been picked up by the Multan Sultans. So I feel that's something else to look away to veer a little bit from the PSL.
Yes, I think all this augurs well for the West Indies moving forward to the 2021 World T20.
With that being said as well, there are actually some news coming in from the local under 19 thing. There's some tournament at the trials that is happening. I know those youngsters are looking forward for this opportunity. Just to make mention to Aaron Banki, Justin Jagisa and Kyle Kisunda, all 3 of them scored hundreds in the recently concluded interzone trials.
And we say congratulations to each one of them. They will be working hard to getting into a national team soon.
Yes, so with that being said as well, there are actually the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. There are 6 existing teams with 1, which is, I find this is a very interesting thing where they are kind of breaking up the West Indies a little bit, where it is that only one particular team, whether it be Trinidad, Barbados, will be qualifying for that.
Well, that was always the case. Remember, in these international sports, there's no West Indies. Each island
country.
territory will be competing on its own. So, with the likes of Australia and all the other big teams, they would have to qualify. So, hopefully, Trinidad and Tobago gets in there.
Yes, we have some good cricketers in between there, the likes of Anisa Mohammed. Guys, I want to say thanks for the opportunity and thanks for viewing us at the Midwicket Show. We want to be sure that we continue to give you all the in-depth and detailed analysis and everything. You be sure to join us on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Thanks. My name is Daryl.
And I'm Darren, and we look forward to seeing you in the second installment of the Midwicket Show.
Don't be caught out.